This is the Gunn and Roman show. We are just a day removed from WrestleMania 36, the most controversial WrestleMania ever. Hello, Tommy, what's up?
What's up, bro? So lots of ups and downs over the weekend, I suppose.
Yeah,
So some
really.
positives, some negatives. There's some negatives, yeah, some negatives, but that's okay. We're gonna get through it all.
Yeah, so without further ado, let's just go right into it. We're going to go in
Straight in.
sequential order. So we're going to start with part one, they're calling it. They don't call it night one, night two for some reason. They go part one, part two, which I don't really get because they're two different nights, but I digress.
Yeah, yeah, whatever. Sorry, we
So,
we write better shows than them. It's okay. Just leave them alone.
so this is so at first I didn't like the way the card was stacked, but then I noticed what they were doing. So when I first saw that this was the first match, I was kind of pissed. It was the Kabuki Warriors versus Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss.
Man, you didn't like this match when we were previewing it, so I can imagine that you didn't like that it was first on the card.
Well, I didn't because I feel like to set the precedent for this weekend, a weekend, not a show, the whole weekend, we needed like something good. But no, they started with
And yeah,
this.
what was the match? At least all right.
Um, yeah, it was fine. It was fine because Asuka's in it and Bliss can go. But I don't like the whole Kabuki Warriors screaming, especially in an empty arena when that's all you can hear.
Oh, you mean like a women's tennis match or like an annoying Asian factory?
An annoying.
Oh man.
It
I
was like
mean
a
like a
yeah.
sweatshop, like an illegal operation. I don't mean like this is
Uh,
how all Asians work. It's not
well,
racist, it's just a thing.
Tommy, that's how you think, but I think of some kind of anime CEO would like.
Oh, see, poor CEO.
So this match was fine. I feel like the Kabuki Warriors should lose the titles, and they did. So our prediction, right? We predicted them to lose,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
All right, so we had that right. So we're off to a good start because Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross won. That's what should have happened.
Yeah, it's and of course, this match is I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Beth Phoenix and Natalia
It was going to be
involved
a
in
triple
this
threat.
somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah. And obviously it's smart that they got pulled, but I don't know. Uh, I would like. I feel like no matter realistically, it seems like Beth Phoenix and Natalia were probably going to lose. And then Bliss and Cross probably would have picked them up sometime after Mania. I mean, if that was the original plan, or if it was a triple threat, this could have been the plan all along, and they just made it easier on themselves. But I don't know. Overall, I mean, I can't be upset with the result.
nope. So next match, Elias versus King Corbin. And once these guys came on, I was like, no way, you're going to start with these two matches? These are like matches you use to fill up the card and like to give the crowd a break so they can
See,
prepare for the main
okay,
event.
hang on, because I'm gonna dispute you a little bit on that. I hate when they do that. I hate when they go through their card and then it's like the show's going to 11, right? And it's like 10:15 and there's you're like, "Man, let's just bring on this main event." And then you have like Bobby Lashley versus I don't know, Chavo Guerrero or something like that. You know what I mean?
No, I
like
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I just I'm glad they put these at the beginning because the end of the card seemed more like how it did back in the day, where it was like,
No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
all right, like think about like an old SmackDown show. Like, let's get the women out of the way, let's get the cruiserweight out of the way, maybe like the tag belts, and now you have important matches for the second half of the show.
Right.
So
That's why I said when I first saw it, but then I realized
yeah,
what they
right.
were doing. So nothing much to say about this match. Starts off before the bell rings. Elias breaks the guitar on Corbin's back. Elias won with holding the tights. So I don't know if that's gonna spark a heel turn or just a reason to continue this feud.
Let me ask you a question. Didn't they do an angle on SmackDown where it was like, oh no, is Elias gonna be able to compete?
Yeah, I didn't notice. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't
That's what I
watch that
thought.
SmackDown.
Okay, all right, just making sure. Okay. Next match.
And then this match comes on and I'm like, what the fuck? Becky versus Shayna. But then I realized that
Oh, what?
it really worked. Yeah, dude. This was third match of the night.
Interesting.
But
Did they do Charlotte and Rhea Ripley on this day or the second day?
second day to start.
Because I didn't remember hearing anything about it, so I guess we'll get to that when we get
Yeah,
to it. But
we'll get to
third
that.
match, huh? Interesting.
Becky Shayna. So it starts off with them like an MMA fight. They start hitting each other, and since it's empty arena, you can hear them like slapping, like hitting because
Jesus.
yeah, I don't know, yeah, but I liked the beginning because you could hear the contact. It felt physical. The match was a good match. Can't complain. And Becky won, which I do not think was the right result.
Well, I think that like Shayna Baszler. Oh man, I have the same amount of disdain for Shayna Baszler as I do Nyla Rose. Like,
Uh,
stop wrestling,
right.
leave me alone. So I mean, if you're trying to build a new star, I get it. But I think that their women's division's stacked, and there are more people in NXT that I like a hell of a lot more than Shayna Baszler. So I'm all right with her taking a fucking fat L, dude.
Yeah, I guess they just built her up, like beating everybody in the Elimination Chamber just to build up Becky even more so that she's like the John Cena of the women's division.
Yeah, it's okay. Think about it like this: last year before Mania, Roman pinned everyone in the chamber and then lost to Brock. But we all complained because it was Roman and Brock.
Right.
Now it's like Becky, and there's no, like, you might not agree with the result, but you're not like, man, I hate Becky Lynch. I hate Shayna Baszler. Why did Shayna Baszler beat everybody in the chamber? You know what I mean? Like, no
Yeah.
one cares. It's just like, I don't know.
I,
People are whining bitches, and
I
they need
don't
to cut
mind.
it out.
Becky's fine in my book. They just need to get
Right?
her
Exactly.
character on course.
Right.
So
Yeah, I agree.
next up was up there as one of the best matches. It was Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship.
I heard there was some really good stuff in this match.
Bryan scares me. Like he
Yeah.
did a suicide dive and he just propelled himself and he went shoulder neck first right into the barricade. Like there's nothing Zayn could do to stop the momentum.
Jesus.
Yeah, then we had like I said in the preview when Drew Gulak would be outside with Cesaro and Shinsuke, and he wiped them all out.
Yeah.
And then they came back to bite Bryan in the ass, and then Bryan lost the match. So,
So is that like a stable forming?
oh, they're called the Artist Collective.
So who is it now? It's Sami Zayn, Shinsuke,
Cesaro.
Cesaro?
Yep. They put the best
So
wrestlers
Cesaro,
on one team and called it a shitty name.
they okay, but hold on. So they split up Cesaro and Sheamus,
A
but they're
long
both
time ago.
working I know that, but they're both working heel on the same brand.
Yeah, but Sheamus fell off the face of the earth, so
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's probably because of the disease, but yeah.
yeah.
All right.
So Zayn wins just probably to give him an actual title run, which I'm not mad about. But I think
Well,
Bryan,
and the other thing is Brian's, he should be at home with the whole coronavirus
yeah,
thing.
that's another reason probably why that he
Yeah.
didn't win it. But down the line, I think Bryan needs to win the Intercontinental Championship. Maybe what you do is you have Shinsuke get jealous of Sammy and Cesaro because they start doing their own little thing without Shinsuke, and then Shinsuke wins the Intercontinental. Then we have Shinsuke versus Bryan at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental.
That's one way you could do it. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens when Brian comes back. I'm sure he'll take some time off right now, but say it's the same kind of situation as Roman, where it's like you don't know, like who knows when Roman's gonna be okay to come back with the whole everything going around, and I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. But hopefully, they do something with them when they are good to come back.
Yep. But then But yeah, I mean that's all we could say for about that match for now. But the next match I'm
Yeah,
really excited to talk about because I think it was match of the weekend, maybe. It's what we speculated how they would take one guy from each tag team. Jimmy Uso, Kofi, Morrison in a ladder match.
yeah,
Dude, it was
yeah.
awesome. John Morrison freaking is amazing. Kofi is amazing, and Uso's right up there with them. But let me tell you, man, Morrison had such good spots. Like there was this spot where they had a ladder bridged from the apron to the barricade, and Kofi was up on the top rope on one side of the ring, and then Morrison was on the other side of the ring on the top rope, and it looked like they were both gonna like do a splash onto Jimmy, who was laying on the ladder, but then Morrison sprints across the top rope like Ray freaking Phoenix, and he then does. I think they did a Spanish fly off the top rope, and it was freaking awesome, dude.
I mean, Jomo has been one of the best in the business for the last decade. He's borderline untouchable. He's great. I think, you know, he's the kind of guy that was never given the main event look that he should have. Like, okay, I know this might be like a SmackDown versus Raw pipe dream, but I always saw John Morrison as like a world heavyweight champion.
Me too.
So I just feel like he's definitely world title material. They just got to use him the right way and get him there the right way.
Hey, maybe before he retires.
I hope so. But anyway, yeah, I mean, you put these guys together in a ladder match, like hopefully at some point. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Miz is really like a ladder match guy other than like Money in the Bank, but that was a long time
Yeah.
ago. I don't know. It's a good mix. Hopefully they get to work a tag angle once all this stuff blows over together, the three teams.
Yeah, so then let me tell you a few more spots. We had Jimmy running on the barricade and it looks like he's about to jump right on the Kofi, but then Kofi's just like, nope. He throws a ladder right in Jimmy's face, and I literally jumped out of my seat and I was like, oh, he's dead.
Jesus.
Yeah, it looked
Jesus.
terrible. And since there's no crowd, you can hear all the impact and the sound that the ladders make when there's no crowd is it's really bone chilling. Like it's really good stuff. It works.
I probably would have had PTSD from getting my fucking nose
Yeah,
shattered at Backyard
I
Mania
remember that
1.
story.
Boo, JT. Boo. All
Let
right,
me take you
anyway,
to
go
the
on.
finish of this. The finishing spot was uh, two ladders set up with a ladder on
Mhm.
one of the bottom rungs, bridged from the bottom rope or the middle rope, either one. I forget. But then it was bridged between the ladder and the rope. And then Morrison's up there, Jimmy's up there, and Kofi's up there. They all unhook the belts at the same time. Each of them has two hands on the contraption that holds the belts up, and they're like, I
Mhm.
won, no, I won, no, I won. I was like, oh, are you kidding me? This is how we're gonna end it. That's so stupid. Then they both headbutt, both as in Kofi and Jimmy, headbutt Morrison, and he pulls the straps down as he takes a bump onto a ladder, and he wins the match that way. And I was like, okay, nope, now I can't complain because that was
Oh
that
my
was cool
God.
as hell. He took a bump
That's brilliant.
while taking the two championships down, not just one. He took both down and then took a bump on a ladder and won the match that way.
I mean, that's just well executed by them. I'm sure that match will be probably rated pretty highly.
I thought it was match
Um,
of the weekend,
man, that's
honestly,
pretty
because
dope.
these guys, like, this is what I thought would be the type of thing that would start the weekend to set the idea of what this no crowd mania would be like. So it wasn't until this match, not taking anything away from the Intercontinental title match, but it wasn't until this match where I was like, damn, they can really put on this show, ladder matches and all, with no crowd.
Right. And this is the kind of match that gives you the confidence that this show's not going to be a dumpster fire. Right. I know what you
Yep.
mean. Yeah.
And then, so right off of that, we go into Owens and Rollins. And I was like, if there's anybody that can follow that match, it's these guys. And this match was interesting. It was like a two-parter. It started off as a regular match. Then we spilled out to the outside. They're brawling, brawling, brawling. And then Rollins hits Owens in the head with the ring bell. And you can hear that thing ding. I was like, damn. And then they pick up the bell, and then the ref's like, ring the bell, it's over. But then they had to pick up the bell just to ring it. It's pretty funny. So I'm like, okay, it's not a 5-star match like I thought it was gonna be. That's a letdown. They're gonna just continue the feud. Then Owens gets in the ring with the mic and is like, no, that's the WrestleMania. That's not what I want to do. I want no DQ. I want no rules. Let's restart the match. And I'm like, okay, what authority figure can come out and say and sanction this? But nobody. They just decided to do it on their own. Rollins came back in. Ding, ding, ding. Now it's no DQ. But Tommy, let me point out the one thing that really made this match. They utilized no crowd. They yelled at each other. You could hear Rollins saying, "Come on, Kev, is that the best you got? You're running yourself into the ground. This isn't your WrestleMania moment." He was saying how the PC was built because of him. It was like they're telling a story with their words, in addition to beating the hell out
Right.
of each other.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna pick anybody, like we said before Mania, if you're gonna pick two guys to work an empty arena, it's these two. It's because they're vocal. It's because they're two of the most talented like talkers in the ring. I don't mean as in like communicating moves. I mean in terms of like heel work, taunting, working the crowd just by yelling shit in the ring. They both, especially when they're heels, have done a really good job of that over their careers, and I'm sure you could tell that it showed in this match that skill came to play here. And the only thing I'll say, I've never been a fan of restarts ever. I don't know, like it just takes something away from me. It's just like just do a no DQ match. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I feel
I
like
don't
maybe
know.
they didn't have enough time on
Um,
TV to do that with the whole, pandemic thing, throwing everybody up in the air.
probably. I guess what I would say is this. I would say then at least give me a real person to
That's what I
restart the
was saying
match.
when I said what authority figure can come out. Maybe it could be Stephanie McMahon because she started the show. Maybe it could be, I wouldn't even mind it if it was Gronk. If Gronk was like, I just got word from the McMahons that this match is going to be restarted and it's going to be no DQ. I wouldn't even minded that.
I got you. Yeah,
So
I agree.
the final moments of this match were, I'm sure you saw a clip of this. Um, Kevin Owens goes up top on the WrestleMania sign, and Rollins is on the table. He runs across the WrestleMania sign, leaps off, and a big avalanche. Boom! He kills Rollins, crushes him. Yeah, so that was awesome. But I didn't see
That's
this.
dope.
I didn't see it live because my Wi-Fi cut out for some reason. So I didn't see this. I
Huh.
had to go on Twitter and see a clip of it. And I was like, damn, that's what I missed. So it's whatever. Owens throws Rollins back in the ring. Stunner. Rollins didn't jump up and take a huge bump, which I actually appreciated. I appreciated that he just went straight down after the stunner because he was just crushed, literally. 1, 2, 3,
Right.
it's over.
Dope.
Yeah, not bad.
Sweet. I mean, I think Owens um I don't know. I think this is something that could definitely continue. I know we kind of debated back and forth a lot what would come from this, and I think it's just a wait and see type of situation for both guys.
Yeah, I don't mind. This feud can continue in my book. Then
Yeah.
after this, we go right into the Universal title match, which I wasn't excited for because they already announced Braun was the guy, and they didn't even, make it a surprise for whatever reason. Like, why would you false advertise Roman
Yeah.
Reigns and then just last minute say, "Oh, Strowman's in his place," rather than promoting Roman and then switching at the last second for a big surprise?
Well, because
Yeah,
everybody knew, and Roman pulled out, so there's not much they can do from a promoter's perspective.
all right. So this match, Braun Strowman, Bill Goldberg, and it was a classic WWE main event. You hit 5 of your finishes, kick out of them, then you hit your finish for another time, and then for whatever reason that one works, not the 3 that preceded. Fucking stupid.
Oh
So
man.
Braun Strowman kicks out of like 3 or 4 spears, and then he wins with the 4th power slam.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know what to tell you. It's a bad move all around. We talked about this. It's just I don't know. I don't know,
I
man.
don't even, Tommy, I don't even care. I don't even care about the Universal title. I really have never, like, from the moment they debuted it, I was like, that's the title. It's called the Universal title, and it's bright red. Stupid.
Yeah, I agree. I was right in your boat, and then I had fucking idiots, complete morons, getting on my case about like when they revealed that title. I thought it was stupid, and I couldn't even watch the match. I couldn't even like try to appreciate the match that was happening, and I had people coming after me for that. Like, we'll just watch the match, man. And it's like, well, stop bending over to this garbage company, and maybe we can speak again. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. I'm talking to you, Carl, you fuck. You're not listening to this, but if you are, that one's at you. All right. Yeah, Universal title blows. It's never been good, and I hope they
Yeah,
fix it.
they need somebody to fix it, and I thought that guy could be Jeff Hardy, but no.
I hope they fix it by bringing back the World
I
Heavyweight
miss the
Championship.
World
Sorry, that's my
Heavyweight
answer to
Championship.
everything.
Big
Yeah,
gold,
I
big
know, me
gold.
too. Absolutely, big gold. Big
All right,
gold for the
without
win.
further ado, let's take it to the main event of night one, or part one, I should say, because that's the way that they're billing it. It was a match that nobody expected to be as good as it was. It's my bread and butter. It's my all my favorite things mixed into one, the Boneyard match. AJ Styles.
Yeah, this match was right up your alley. It turned out to be more like an EBW match than anything else I've
Oh my
seen in
God,
wrestling.
dude. It was freaking awesome. So let me just run through the whole thing from my memory. A
Yeah,
hearse
go.
shows up to this graveyard. First of all, the atmosphere is awesome. They have music in the background, just like an EBW film. I'm like a mark that I am. I thought, okay, Taker's gonna come out of the hearse. That's sick. But then, right as two druids, I was like, oh my God, they brought back the druids. Once the two druids brought out the casket, I was like, okay, it's not gonna be Taker. It can't be. And then I was right. Styles was in the casket, and he's like, all right, dead man, let's go. Let's go. Where are you coming out at? And this is a good bait and switch because I'm sure a lot of people expected for Taker to like rise from a grave, but no. Then you hear the motorcycle and it's coming down the road and Metallica kicks in and I'm like, no way. Metallica, a horror atmosphere. AJ Styles, my favorite wrestler. The Undertaker, my favorite wrestler. In a movie type environment with this awesome ambiance and atmosphere. It was awesome, dude. And a lot of people are saying it's Biker Taker, and I strongly disagree. Strongly. It's not Biker Taker. This is Mark Calloway because he has elements of the Undertaker from old with the teleporting and the fire, but then he's badass like American Badass with the motorcycle and the bandana and the words.
Right. He's
Yeah,
everything.
it's awesome. He's paying homage to his career, Tommy. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. Hmm. That's what I heard. That's what a lot of people drew from it as well.
So these guys are just brawling, boom, shot for shot. Then Taker picks up something from the ground and he smashes the window of the hearse like he's about to crush Styles' head, and then he cuts himself and Undertaker's bleeding down his arm, and they get a nice shot and he's got a big baseball lump right there from smacking that window, and it's a huge lump that's bloody and gross, and it's like a horror movie prosthetic, but I know it's real. It was awesome, dude. The music was there. So cool. We had a false finish where Styles was in the grave, or wait, no, where Taker was in the grave. Then Taker gets up. He's behind Styles, and nobody liked that because like, how is he teleporting? Just shut up and like it for what it is. Undertaker's been teleporting for years. I don't really care. I don't know why people read into that. Like I listened to Dave Meltzer's review, and he's like, well, I don't know how he showed up behind AJ Styles. Like, what? Can he teleport like Matt Hardy? And then Brian Alvarez like, well, maybe he got out of the grave and ran behind him really fast before the camera saw it. And I'm like, why are you guys reading into it that much? Like, it's shut up.
I think that he's just trying to do his job, man.
What is his job to figure out how the Undertaker teleported behind AJ Styles?
No, No, he always tries to look at it from like a
Oh,
realism
shut up. This is
perspective.
not real in the
And
slightest.
well, he makes fun of the Matt Hardy thing too. I know what you mean. I know. Trust me. I agree with you. He's just
So
doing his job.
yeah.
He's just shitting on him for doing his job.
So I don't know if I'm
Okay,
reviewing
go
this
on, go
match
on.
in sequential order. My bad if I'm not, but
Yeah,
I'm just
he's fine.
saying it how I remember it. And there's this one really awesome part where um Gallows and Anderson are out, and then they back up to like this barn, and then the walls are pushed down, and it's these druids standing there with the light just blinding. All you see is their silhouette, and you see Taker, and then the druids, like the people who used to be his followers, or I don't know. It was symbolism, but I know it was just Styles got some goons or whatever. If you're looking at it from a realism point of view, and Taker lays out all the
Right.
druids. It's freaking awesome, dude. Awesome. And Taker, you hear Taker go, "All right, let's do this." Like he's got so many good one-liners in here, and I know you love one-liners.
he's he's like auditioning for action movies for his post wrestling career.
And then let me take you to when they were up on top of the other barn. He Taker was up there with Styles, Gallows, Anderson. He throws Gallows off the top. You don't even see where he landed. He's just dead. Carl Anderson takes a tombstone,
Jesus.
and the way that the metal on top of that roof sounded disgusting. Carl Anderson's neck's broken right now. AJ Styles takes a choke slam off of the barn and right down onto whatever was on the ground. It was definitely a crash mat, but whatever they made it look like. But before he choke slams him off, Taker goes, "Isn't this what you wanted, Styles? Isn't this what you wanted? How old am I? What's my wife's name? Hmm? Is my career over yet?" And then he choke slams him off, and I was like, "Good for you, man. That was fucking awesome." Then we have Undertaker and Styles by the grave now, and Taker hugs him and he goes, "Nobody's given me that fight in a long, long time. I'm not gonna hurt you anymore. Like we're done fighting. I'm not gonna bury you." Hugs him, and then he starts to walk off, and I'm like, "No, no shot." He turns around, big boot. Styles is in the grave, and I'm like, "All right, here's the ending, baby." And then Undertaker gets in the bulldozer and he drops the dirt right on Styles. Now I thought they were gonna fully fill it, but they didn't. So at first I was like, okay, maybe it's not over. Maybe Styles is gonna jump out from the grave, you know? And then yeah, but that's not the
Right.
way it happened. And then you see Undertaker move the moss off the tombstone to reveal AJ Styles' name was there all along. And I thought that was a cool little touch. Right, I saw that that
Right,
was
which is
covered the
dope.
whole time, and I was like, okay, that's gonna be really cool once the ending and the person removes it. So yeah, really cool. And then Taker gets on the bike, fire emerges. Uh, People read into that like, where did the fire come from? Shut up and just enjoy it. It's larger than life. It's a spectacle. And then the Metallica kicks in again, and I'm like, this is everything right now. This is awesome. Taker rides away. Freaking phenomenal.
So is that it for Taker?
No, dude. I feel like he has to wrap it up in front of a crowd.
Well, yeah, me too. Well, the first thing Zach said to me, Matt Thunder, the first thing Matt Thunder said to me when he got in, when I spoke to him after this section of the show was, dude, I think
No.
Taker's done. There's a bunch of stuff on. I'm like, he's like laying all this out for me, and I'm like, well, did he win? And he's like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's it for him. He said that there was some documentary they aired on the
Yeah,
network
Undertaker
right
last ride.
after about how much pain he's in and how this is the end
No,
for
it was
him and
how
all
much
this
pain
shit.
he was in. He got surgeries to fix it, and then they're billing it as last ride, as like he's on his last ride, which is gonna consist of a couple more matches. So slow your horses,
Yeah, I
because
agree.
if you listen to the documentary,
Here,
Tommy, it literally starts off with him going like, "What happened to me? I used to be this badass, and I used to like beat people up, and then what happened to me?" And he talks about how for like 5 years he would be working just one match a year, and then get a surgery to fix it. And then he's like, and now I think that it's my time to put over the guys, and he said he's going to keep going until the wheels fall off. So
Yeah, I feel like our friend and companion Matt Thunder didn't
no,
get through to that part. But look, Taker's gonna go out on lying on the mat taking the three. You can guarantee that. I mean, this guy's as old school as they come. There's no way he's winning his last match. Um, and for me, like he's the best. I mean, he's the best to
yeah,
ever do it. 6'10", 300 pounds, and you've been fucking tightrope walking the top rope for 30 years. You're a sociopath. You're crazy.
oh,
You know.
dude, I hope,
Anyway, but I think the highlights of part one, as we're calling it, are definitely the 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 main event, the boneyard match, and then the these like upper mid card matches, the tag title, the IC title, and Owens and Rollins. I mean, that's all you have to look for. The undercard has been garbage for like, and this is just consistent. I mean, you get once in a while you get a spectacle match. It's really awesome like this. It's a WrestleMania type of thing. But if it's a regular pay per view and you don't have that kind of match, all you can really look to is the upper mid card, and that's it. Because no one cares about the world title. For the most part, it's garbage. Hopefully, that'll change with what we talk about on part two, and I mean the undercard is atrocious. So overall, I mean there's definitely some high spots, but there are too many low spots for it to be like considered a really good show.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
but it is what it is.
But considering what the circumstances were, I
Yeah,
mean it's
I
pretty
got to give it to
solid.
him.
Yeah. But that main event is absolutely right up your alley,
Yeah,
and it's a great
par my
spectacle.
two favorite wrestlers of all time, Metallica.
Oh, dude,
Now that
which
we're
which
dead.
Metallica song?
Now that we're
Oh
dead,
my
my
God,
dear. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah,
that's dope.
I hope
I'm gonna have
I
to
hope
find
Taker
that
comes out to
somewhere.
that like on Raw or something. Obviously I hope for his last match it comes out to the iconic theme, but like I want to see him just come out to that song just because it's Metallica.
I just want Limp
Yeah,
Bizkit
but
one more time.
I take Metallica
Just
over
one
Limp
more time.
Bizkit.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, but that specific Limp Bizkit song with the denim and the
Yeah.
bandana, just
All right,
one
let's
time.
go to part two, Tommy. All
All
right, part two kicks off with
right, let's
Charlotte
do it.
Flair and Rhea Ripley. Yup, that's
That
the
was
way
the
that they should start
opener.
it with a great match.
Huh.
Charlotte
Interesting.
Flair
It was
worked
it
over
was good.
Rhea's knee the whole time. I had my grandma over because she's quarantined here, and she's like, "Wow, Max, this is a really great match." And for my grandma to say that, that's something. So yeah, and
Right,
especially for
exactly.
women's wrestling, no dig at women's wrestling, but she's a grandmom, she's old school.
Very up and down women's
Right.
wrestling is,
But
I
dude,
swear.
this was awesome. Charlotte Flair worked
You
over the
know,
knee, and then she finally won after she went for the figure eight. Rhea tapped. I don't know if she should have tapped or passed out, but
interesting.
you get what you get, and to his own. I really don't mind because I know what Charlotte Flair is going to do in NXT for the girls down there. So
Yep, we talked about that in the
yeah, and I
preview show,
predicted
so that's solid.
Charlotte, right? And so we both agreed on that, didn't we? I think we
Hmm.
predicted almost this whole
Yeah.
show, except for I think I thought Daniel Bryan was going to win the Intercontinental. Like,
I think so. I mean,
yeah,
you might have
I
picked
think I might have.
Shayna.
Oh well, I really don't. I think we predicted right, but that's not what we're really talking about. We're just talking about the show in general. Show. So,
Right,
I'm happy they
exactly.
started with this match. I like that idea. But if they weren't starting with this match, then I thought they were going to start with the next match we're about to talk about. Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. So interchangeable, but
Oh yeah, I forgot this
I'm
was a
happy
thing.
that they started with the Charlotte match. But this match was not bad, Tommy, at all. This Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley was pretty damn solid. Yeah,
Did they do it how you
like a
wanted them to
fight,
do
right?
it?
Yeah.
No, probably not. Well, did they like bill them? Like, did they give
No,
them like
no,
height and weight and shit?
they should have.
No, they didn't do that.
Yeah,
But
they
they were
started
really
off.
physical, I
I
assume.
love wrestling matches that start out like a wrestling match. Like they're slow to start and they grapple and then headlock, go around them for a waist lock, work, get the leg. I really like that kind of stuff. And then Bobby Lashley,
Right.
Aleister Black has like a guillotine locked in. Bobby Lashley picks him up, throws him up in the air. Awesome stuff. Really worked to both of their abilities. And the way that
That's
this match
crazy.
ended was Bobby Lashley had Aleister for his slam finish, whatever that's called. And yeah, I don't know what it's
You
called.
mean the Dominator?
And then
Maybe
well,
it's
he has
not.
him
I
up
don't
like a
know what it's called
crucifix
anymore. I don't
powerbomb.
fucking know.
And then Lana goes, put him down, beat him with the spear, beat him with a spear. Puts Aleister down and he goes, "Thank you, baby." He winks at her, lines up for spear, runs, black mass,
Black
one, two,
Mass.
three. And then it looks
And
Lana is
yeah,
staring
go
at
ahead, go ahead.
Bobby, and Bobby's like, "What the hell, babe? What the fuck?" And let me tell you, Lana looks good as a
Right.
brunette. I don't know if it's
Oh, did
that
she
or
dye
it's
her
just a
hair?
wig or whatnot, but she looks good as a brunette.
We'll have to look at that after the
So
show.
yeah, that was that. So maybe I was thinking maybe Rusev can run out. Maybe Bobby's gonna like attempt to hit Lana, and then Rusev comes out. But no, they don't want to take advantage of that.
They're gonna slow build that. No, don't think they're not taking advantage of it. They're waiting. They're
All right,
holding it
good.
back and they're gonna do
All
it.
right, so that was that. Let's move on to the match that you want to shit on so
Mhm.
badly, Otis and Dolph. Can you take
Who
a
won?
guess?
I I guess I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
say probably
So
Otis. You
no,
gotta
no,
be
dude, it
kidding
wasn't
me.
actually bad at all. Nope, it was actually
Oh
it was
man,
actually
really?
entertaining. I like Dolph a lot. Keep in mind,
Well, yeah, I love Dolph. Don't get me
keep in
wrong.
mind, I
I
said I
just don't
like
use him
Dolph. I
right.
didn't say I liked Otis. So good match. It was what it was. What's her face? What's the girl's name that was with Mandy Rose? Yeah, she's fine.
Sonya Deville.
She
Yeah.
she
All right,
she comes
next.
out with with Dolph because I don't know if you saw on SmackDown, but the way that they did this was it was some hacker came on and exposed Sonya Deville was the one texting Otis off of Mandy's phone, and so really the heels are Mandy or not Mandy, Sonya Deville and Dolph because they played Otis. So yeah, and then the way
Oh,
it goes is the ref's not looking, and Ziggler hits a low blow on Otis. You think Ziggler's gonna win? Then Mandy's music comes on. Mandy comes out, slaps the shit out of Sonya, beats her up a little bit. Ref's checking on Sonya when the ref's not looking. Mandy low blows Dolph. Otis wins with his stupid caterpillar elbow drop. It is what it is. I keep saying that a lot because it really is what it is. 1, 2, 3. Otis wins, and Mandy's got this. Jeez, she needs to wear like actual attire because she's half naked out there.
oh, really?
And then they wonder why women's wrestling isn't taken seriously. Put some clothes on these women.
And
Put some clothes on the women, please.
God damn it. And oh, you
Next.
got me fucking crying, dude. Wait, hold on. But did like what happened with
Oh,
Otis and Mandy
Otis
after the
twirled her
match?
and picked her
Nothing?
up and left. Oh, and they kissed. They smooched a bit. Yeah, Otis was
Oh
going
boy.
in.
All right. Okay.
So next, guess what that was followed up with?
Oh
Edge and
God,
Orton.
I couldn't even guess. Oh no. Oh God, I don't want to hear it.
No,
I don't want to
dude,
hear it. I'm so
I know a lot
scared.
of people ripping on it, but I can't because I love Edge and I love Orton. So they come out. Edge comes out. Oh my,
I heard the commentary was
oh,
atrocious.
we're getting there. So Edge comes out. Dude's a freaking legend, man. So good. So I knew something was up when Edge came out first
Yeah,
because I was like, why would Edge come out first? That doesn't make any sense. Orton should come out first and then Edge, but it is it was that way for a reason because then out of nowhere RKO boom, and I don't know why they didn't shoot it like this in the first place, but then they cut to a replay of Randy Orton. He's wearing all black, black sweatpants, black hoodie. He's got the hood up, and he's got the camera in his hand. He's like a cameraman. But I don't know why they didn't show this originally. They showed this in a replay. Then Orton slowly, well, you don't know it's Orton yet. He's got the hood on. You see him from a back point of view. He takes the camera, puts it down on the apron. Then he slowly goes into the ring like Orton does. Everything he does so well slowly. And then out of nowhere, boom, he kicks into another gear, sprints into the ring, RKO out of nowhere to Orton. Not to Edge, I should say, by Orton. It's really not the way I expected to start off the
right.
match. Kind of wish they would have went with a more traditional start, or I wish Orton would have beat down Edge in the ring before they went where they went. But I think they're saving Edge's like actual in ring singles legit match where he hits the ropes actually and does shit in the ring for maybe a crowd. So it
Right.
I like the sense where they didn't really show Edge in the ring, so we still don't kind of like know what he's like in the ring yet. Yep, right. I think this was done
Exactly.
purposely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so they
Yep.
they
Well, I mean, you got to change everything you do when there's no one there. So they probably had some stuff planned, but it probably got
so I'm not
bumped
gonna
or
run through
scratched.
every spot in this match because it was like a 36-minute match, which it definitely shouldn't have been. But I
Yeah,
realized
I
why it
heard.
was. I realized why it was, and I can respect it. So they not wrestled. They brawled into the gym. They did a bunch of cool spots in here that people don't appreciate. Like Edge hopped up on a pull-up bar, swung and and drop kicked Edge. He jumped off of a sled, cross-bodied Randy. A bunch of cool stuff happened, dude. You gotta appreciate it because these two guys.
I heard he tried
I
to
didn't mind
hang
that at
him
all
with
because
one of
if
the
I was in this type of match,
machines.
that's exactly what I would do.
Do you know why that was so highly
Chris
like
Benoit.
minded by everybody else? Yeah, because they just came out with a documentary like 2 weeks ago that detailed like that he hung himself with a exercise machine, like a cord on a lap
I guess I'm
machine.
an asshole.
Two, two, two. No. I'm not saying that, but like 2 weeks ago that happened. So like,
Well,
it's
two
just
weeks ago the documentary
distasteful
came
if
out.
you're like Brian Alvarez or Dave Meltzer. You know what I mean? Right. That's what I'm saying. Like if you're in the wrestling business and
Yeah, but this
everyone's
event
talking
happened
about it, you know
more
what
than
I
a
mean?
decade ago. So
Yeah, I know, I know. But like that's
shut
part
the
of why
fuck up.
people are shitting on this match so hard. I swear,
No, I know.
dude, I'm not trying to shit
I,
on it. I
Dude,
like both
I liked it a
guys.
lot. Edge set Randy up. He tied him up in it because he's got the injured neck, and he starts teeing off on the head and the neck area. It's wrestling 101. He's working a body part.
Right.
Shut up and fucking respect these guys.
Yeah.
I love Edge, and
Yeah, I know.
it looked really nasty, like what they wanted, and the point got across that Randy wants to kill him and really wants to retire him because he quote unquote loves him. I respected the story. So let's cut 20
All
minutes
right.
out, 25 minutes out, because it was cool, innovative stuff. Let me just say that. Um, they're on top of it. They're on top of
Yeah.
the tractor trailer. Randy brings up two chairs, sets up Edge for a
Okay.
concerto. Comes to life and he hooks in that side sleeper that he does now. That's I guess his new thing. Puts him to sleep, and then he puts him to sleep right on top of the chair. And this part got me a little worried because I was like, oh my god, the chair was literally teetering, like the other chair that you would use for a concerto. Like Randy's head was on the other one, but
Yeah.
the other chair was teetering off the tractor trailer. I was like, if that chair falls, like he can't do a concerto. What's he gonna do? Go down there and pick it up and come back up? So, so I was like, oh please
Yeah, right.
don't let that happen. But it's okay because Edge got the chair before it fell. Um, Edge is all time great, dude. he's been acting for the past 9 years that he's been retired, and you can see it because he's crying. The camera zooms in on it. But then he's angry. He tells the ref, "Don't effing count," because he's about to count out Randy because he was down. But Edge was like, "No, I want to do it myself." He cries, and then he's like, "You know what? Forget it." Boom, concerto. 1, 2, 10. It's over. Edge wins. But the commentary that you were saying earlier, terrible, horrendous.
Yeah.
But you know what?
The worst you've ever
for
seen.
Edge's singles return. But you know what I'm thinking? What I was talking to Zach about? Maybe they didn't have monitors.
Lay it on me.
Because what would be the point in rigging up monitors if the guys are right there in the PC right in front of your face? Like, the point of monitors are so that you can watch the screen and not get distracted by the crowd and the noise. Maybe they didn't. I didn't see monitors. I could be totally wrong, but I don't remember seeing monitors on the announce table. So maybe what I'm thinking is they had to dub this over, and the people who edited the dub job did a terrible job, or just it was hard to get hype when they were, because maybe it was like midnight and they needed to get this show pre-taped and edited, so they only decided to throw in commentary here and there, which the commentary picked up once the concerto was about to be hit, and once he hit it, and once Edge won the match, the commentary was there. But when he hit like the first ever spear on Orton, it was on top of the tractor trailer, and I was waiting for commentary to erupt like, "Spear by Edge, the rated R superstar." Nope, nothing, dead silent. So that ruined it for me. But I'm not gonna harp on it because I feel like there's something more to it that we don't know. Because I don't think those guys would purposely do Edge like that.
Right, I know what you mean. I think it's just a tough circumstance. Here's another stat that I got just from listening to a few minutes of Wrestling Observer Radio. Did you know that match was the second longest match in the history of WrestleMania? Yeah,
Wait,
I couldn't believe
what's
it
number
when he
one?
said that, dude.
Right.
The Iron Man match between
Stone Cold and Bret Hart.
Fucking
right. Because then that's the one where
so.
Stone Cold was bleeding down the face, and that got him over.
No, I don't think that was an Iron Man match, was it?
I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong.
Actually, yeah, it probably was.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna say anything bad about Edge and Orton because I love Edge.
Anyway,
I love Orton. I'm looking forward to when Edge gets in front of a crowd again. But I heard people talking Edge for Money in the Bank this year.
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't know. That's just people being marks. I would prefer him to work with. Sorry, I'd prefer him to work with. Let's see. I think he could do a match with Cena. I think that would be good.
We're getting there.
I'd like to see him. Go on. I'd like. Well, yeah. We'll get to Cena. I'd like to see him work AJ. Who's also buried alive.
All of Edge's opponents are dead.
Just hang out with your kids and wait till the virus is over, and we'll talk about it then, bro.
All right.
Okay.
So next match was. Let me see. Look at my notes.
Wasn't it?
It was a tag match with the Street Profits and Austin Theory and
yeah. That sounds
nothing
right.
to say about this match.
Did it
finish blue?
Yep. Did it suck? You knew the Street Profits were going to retain. It was telegraphed from a mile away.
Their energy. It's really contagious, but in this circumstance, no good. But then,
well, let me ask you this. Are the Street Profits better than Private Party?
No.
Because I think, unpopular opinion probably, I think Private Party fucking stinks. When they upset the Bucks in that tag tournament, I think the next match was against the Lucha Bros, and that match fucking sucked. It was awful. The Lucha Bros sucked, Private Party sucked, and usually I love the Lucha Bros. I don't know what was going on that day, but I think the Street Profits are like a better private
Yeah,
party.
I think you can't really tell how good the the private party is because the guys they work with are so damn good. So that's all I have to say about that. The
Right.
finish was bad, but then what happened after the match was Bianca Belair came out and she's married to Montez Ford, I think, and she beats up what's her name? The valet for yeah, Zelina Vega.
Zelina
And that's
Vega.
gonna be probably a feud going forward. Enough said about that though. Yeah, not bad at all.
That's dope. Good for
Yeah.
Zelina Vega.
Next
Glad she can
match:
actually
Naomi,
wrestle.
Bailey, Sasha, Lacey Evans, and Tamina.
All right, run me down.
Okay.
Can you run it down in
So
order of
Tamina got eliminated
elimination?
first because all women jumped on her and pinned her. No, it wasn't bad. I actually really liked it.
Didn't we call that? Didn't we call?
Oh
There's
yeah,
no
we called
way
that.
Tamina wins.
Yeah, that was the one
Tamina
that
was the
could
zero
never
percent.
could
She
never
goes out
win.
first.
Then after that,
Right.
it was Naomi that got eliminated. Yep. Then after her,
Mm.
can you take a guess who was next?
Well, okay, so we had that discussion about
You're gonna be
Lacey
surprised.
Evans. I'm going to I'm hopeful it was Lacey Evans, but I could also see Bailey or
So
Sasha costing the other.
no,
But I'm
nope.
going to go with my
Let
gut
me
and
run
say
it down for you.
Lacey
Ready?
Evans.
Don't sigh, Tommy. This is all ups.
Yeah.
So we have
Okay. All right.
Bailey on the apron, and we have her. I think she was holding Lacey, and then no. We have Sasha on the apron holding Lacey. Bailey runs in with a knee. Lacey moves, hits Bailey with the knee. Then we have Sasha come in like a second later. She's like, after everything we've been through, you're gonna knee me in the face, yada yada yada. Um, yeah. Then Bailey
Oh,
goes,
like a
no, it's
bitch.
me and you. It's always gonna be me and you. We're best friends. Don't let that. Let's focus on the match at the task at hand. She said. Then we have Lacey Evans go after Sasha, but Bailey pushes Sasha out of the way. Then Lacey goes after Bailey. Bailey like dodges a punch or whatever, throws Lacey in Sasha's direction. Woman's right, hits her, knocks her out. 1, 2, 3. Sasha's eliminated. I was shocked, a little bit disappointed, but then it all came to play when Lacey delivered against Bailey in what looked like a singles match at the end of this elimination fatal five way. Dude, Lacey really showed off. She looked great. She looked good,
I told
dude.
you Vince
She was
really likes
hitting uh she was hitting moonsaults, she
him.
was hitting everything. She was hitting her moves. It looked awesome. She kicked out so many times, it was awesome. Not to mention before this, I neglected to say that Sasha and Bailey were really working her down and she kicked out of so many double teams. But then Bailey wins at the end
Dope.
after Sasha comes in, hits a backstabber. Bailey hits her face buster, whatever the hell it's called. Yeah, whatever. Bailey wins. So all good. Slow burn for the Sasha Bailey feud. And Lacey, they got Lacey over. I love the way they did
Absolutely.
this. To think about the way that we booked it with a cool singles match between Sasha and Bailey was bad. Now that I think about it, we already know those two can go. So Lacey really looked awesome, dude.
Right. Dope. Well, that's an up then. You got to keep creating new talent, and if they really like Lacey,
Yeah.
she proved herself.
So we have the next match, if you could even call it that, is the Firefly Funhouse match. And this, I was actually expecting to be like a Boneyard match, but it wasn't.
Right.
It was like a psychological movie thriller thing, dude. It starts off with John Cena coming out, like literally with his theme music, like ready for a match. and I'm like, wait, why is this in the arena? I don't understand. Cena's like, welcome to WrestleMania. Like, you know how he gets in front of the camera and says something before he runs down to the ring. So this time it was welcome to WrestleMania. But then
Yeah.
once he says WrestleMate and it cuts out, and then you get this old footage of Vince saying, like, for the first time ever, the classic footage, welcome to WrestleMania. Like, you know that? Then it cuts to Vince with welcome to WrestleMania.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then all this like imagery pops up. And then it goes black. And then it's the Firefly Funhouse. Da, da, you know, all the happy music. And then it's Bray Wyatt in there, and he's like, he says whatever he
Yeah, yeah,
says,
yeah.
and can't really remember off the top of my head. But then he walks out the back door of the Funhouse, and it says abandon all hope, and then it's an exit sign on that door that he exits out of. It goes black a bit, and then pops up again into the Firefly Funhouse, and now Cena's in there. So it was so cool, dude. It was so cool because it goes
Dope.
black. Cena's in the arena. Goes black. Little promo from Wyatt. Then he leaves out the door. Then Cena appears in the Funhouse, and it's so cool seeing Cena in the Funhouse. I don't know why, but it just is. I don't like the puppets, dude. I really can't go with the puppets. Maybe if they were creepier, but I can't. I don't like the bunny's voice sounding so high pitched. Like
What
rabbit.
what's the bunny's name? Yeah. Chad was like Chad, sorry, I should call him Chad. Joe Erebus tried to explain this to me. And he was like so serious. Him and Thunder are like, you gotta watch this, bro. And I'm like, okay, what happens? He's like, well, here's what happens. So Cena comes out and he says, welcome to WrestleMania, but he gets cut off. And then all of a sudden, he's in the Firefly Funhouse, and then Rambling Rabbit appears.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say it like that. You know what I mean? Like it's so
No, I don't
it's
think
so
that's
matter of fact. Like that's normal. I heard Zach told me they did a bit that was based off of John Moxley's Talk Is Jericho
wait.
interview right after he left the
Yeah,
company,
yeah, yeah,
where they
he
had
said,
like a
"That's such
Vince
good shit."
puppet. Yeah, yeah, that's
No,
amazing,
I
dude.
really actually
That's
enjoyed this. I
really
really have to
well done.
rewatch it because I didn't get majority of it, but now that I've had time to process it, I really am starting to understand. But back to what I was saying, so the stupid rabbit appears, says whatever. Um, I really don't care because I really can't tune in when the rabbit talks. But anyway, back to the real cool shit, the real good shit. Cena Cena goes through the same door
Yeah.
that Wyatt just left out of, right? He goes into the door, shuts it, and it's a prolonged shot of just
Right.
the empty funhouse. And I'm like, this is so cool. Cuts to Cena in the darkest room. All you see is his face, very dimly lit. Music's on. I'm like, oh my god, the the Fiend is gonna jump scare. But I think it was another puppet, and they used like a stupid like kids TV show, uh, ding dong, like one of those. So I think that was really
Yeah.
poor. I think they should have done a jump scare, but that's just me nitpicking and me. Yeah, that's me being. Yeah, it really
That's
wasn't
just you
that.
wanting the
But
horror.
anyway,
Yeah.
the puppet says something, and then it goes to Cena. If I'm not mistaken, it goes right to Cena's debut, and it cuts from shots of Kurt Angle's promo and Bray Wyatt. So you know how Kurt Angle was like, "Who's gonna face me? I'm gonna show that I have ruthless aggression, and who's gonna be tonight? I'll face anybody in the back." So it's Wyatt cutting the promo, but then like Kurt Angle would complete the sentence, really really well edited. Then Cena comes out in his original like uh default attire one, and he comes out and he's like, and who in the hell are you? And or no, I actually don't think they said that. I think they should have said that, but he goes, what makes you think you can face me? And he goes, ruthless aggression. And he does that like robotic punch that he did back then. And he keeps dodging it. And then like the second time Bray dodges it, he goes, you can look, but
Hmm.
you can't touch. Nikki Bella. Yeah, dude, it really like really only people who are really you know, not average fans would know. Yeah.
paying attention. Well, I think that's what they're starting to do with the Fiend now, where it's like Bray Wyatt might or might not be your world champion,
I like
but
it.
he is now for the fans. This match is for
So,
adult fans.
this
This is not for
happens.
children.
It's really, really confusing. I didn't take any notes on this match because I was so invested, but I can't remember how this goes. I think it cuts to something. It cuts so many times, Tommy. Let me tell you. Um, it cuts to then Doctor Thugonomics because it's going through his career. He then goes in there and he rap battles.
Yeah, I heard that was a
He
thing.
rap battles the Fiend, or not the Fiend, just Bray Wyatt in the sweater vest, and he's got some good rhymes. But then Bray goes, "You're nothing more than a bully. You beat on people, and you're like a bully." And he says really good points. And then Cena starts to think, and he's like, "Wow, am I really just a bully when I was the Doctor Thugonomics?" Then it cuts to their WrestleMania 30 match, and now Bray is in his old Bray Wyatt clothes with the button-down shirt, and it's the same beat for beat.
That's
Like
dope.
Cena has a chair in his hand, and Bray's on his knees, and he's like, "Hit me! You didn't do it 6 years ago, but do it now. Give into your hate. Hit me! Hit me!" And it cuts to scenes from WrestleMania 30 of when Cena was about to swing and how he put down the chair. But in this moment, he swings the chair, but then Bray Wyatt disappears.
Hmm.
And then, and then,
Damn.
and then it cuts to this weird like Saturday night main event thing where Cena's lifting weights and they're cutting promos like they're the Macho Man and Hulk Hogan, which I didn't fully understand that, but I know there's a deeper meaning to it. But then it cut to NWO Hulk Hogan, and Bray Wyatt was like Eric Bischoff and he was introducing him. And now at first I didn't get what NWO had to do with anything, but now I get it. They had John Cena portray Hulk Hogan because he was becoming an egomaniac back in at WrestleMania 30 when he beat Bray Wyatt, and they're showing Hulk Hogan as an egomaniac back when he was in NWO, and they have Cena come out with the NWO spray painted world title and in an NWO shirt, and I get it now that they were trying to tell us that John Cena was just an egomaniac, just as bad as Hulk Hogan was in his day. So really good examples.
Oh, I think no. I mean, like, I don't think they're actually like
Yeah, I
trying
know.
to
That's what
like.
I was saying.
I think that's the story they're
No, I
telling.
know.
Yeah, yeah, okay, all right. Because the way you worded it sounded like it was like,
No,
yeah,
yeah,
they
that's
thought he was an
obviously the
asshole
story.
too.
And then
Yeah,
um
right.
that happens, and then John Cena tackles down Bray, and he starts punching the shit out of his face. But it's a camera angle so that you can't see who's under John Cena. Then it pans down, and it's that pig, the Husky Harris, like make the pig that's supposed to be Husky Harris, and he's punching the puppet, and then it's Bray Wyatt, and I think I can't remember. He might Sister Abigail, the NWO John Cena, or no. Then the NWO John Cena turns into real John Cena in the jeans and the wristbands, and then the puppet disappeared, and then it's the Fiend, Mandible Claw, into Sister Abigail, into a Mandible Claw again. Cena's passed out. Fiend stands over John Cena. John Cena disappears, and the Fiend is standing over him. And he didn't just beat John Cena, no. He didn't pin him 1, 2, 3 in a wrestling match, no. He literally he ruined the idea of John Cena. The very idea of John Cena, he manipulated and crushed with this whole mind fucking funhouse thing. So now, if you didn't understand previously what "let me in" means, it means let the Fiend in so he can look at your worst memories, pick you apart piece by piece, and that's what he means by "let you in." It's so deep, dude. Now every time you hear "let me
Damn.
in," that's what he means. Let me into your mind. Let me dissect you from the inside out, and let me delete your whole ideological like thinking, like the way John Cena was perceived as the top guy, how he was perceived as the Doctor Thugonomics, how he was like Hulk Hogan. Crazy shit, man.
That's crazy. I mean,
Not like well for
it
me, I like
seems
the
like a
Boneyard
cinematic
better, but
masterpiece.
yeah, this was totally different.
Well, yeah. But I mean, it's yeah, two totally different things, but they're similar in that
Mm,
they weren't really like wrestling matches. They were kind of like the
yeah,
stuff like Final Deletion and stuff they did in like TNA.
better.
But like the Boneyard's probably closer to that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm certain. I'm certain. The only thing that was really funny about I don't know if it was specifically Final Deletion, but um when they like buried uh like some him and Hurricane were like
yeah,
using a
yeah.
shovel and they were like even the man with three H's like that bit that was fucking hilarious. Other than that, Boneyard match I'm sure is
I
better
liked it a
than that.
lot, man.
But yeah, it's the same kind of concept.
So then, now it's main event time.
It's dope.
Drew McIntyre comes out, and you could just see that he's like sad because he knows that he was supposed to come out and get a big pop, and it's really sad, man. This should have been 10 times better, but in the circumstances that it was, this is what
Yeah.
happened. Now I thought it was going to be a longer match. I thought it was going to be a way more physical match, but it wasn't. It was a couple F5s, a couple claymores. That's all it was. But it was really good because they have Brock over in this way that every time he hits an F5, you think, okay, Brock usually wins with like two F5s. But no, Drew kicks out at one, and yeah, he hits an F5. Drew kicks out at one, and he kicks out again and
Oh
again
my
and again. He
God.
kicks out at like four F5s. He hits like four of his own claymores, and then it's over. I feel like they could have dragged out the beating longer. They could have put Drew through a table. They could have done so much more. A ref bump for Brock to hit him with a chair could have been much better. I hate it.
Look, when Brock
I guess
lost to
that's why,
Seth,
huh?
it was quick and painless. He
Yeah.
don't like to lose.
I respect
Well,
that
I
he's
hate
so
him,
over in the
so
fact that every time he has a match, I'm scared he's going to win. But I don't know if that's because it's his character or because the way that he's booked. I don't know.
it's not because it's character. It's because he's only
Well,
there for
I have more
four
respect for
matches a
Brock
year, and
after the
nobody
Royal Rumble
wants that.
performance he had because then it shows that he can go. All right, so Drew wins.
Right, I
Drew
agree.
gets the title. No pop. It's really sad. But then, dude, what really got me, and I almost wanted to cry for him. The camera shows Drew down on his knees with the title in his hand. Drew then reaches out to the camera, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm mouthing, thank you. I feel you. Like, thank you. Like, this is because of all of you, the fans. And he's reaching out, and he's in tears, and he's mouthing this to the camera. And I was like, wow, dude, that's really powerful stuff right there.
Yeah, it's a well-deserved moment for a guy who was supposed to be something huge. He had a tragedy go on in his life. He became a low-tier guy and left and reinvented himself and came back a
Yeah, I'm
completely
happy
different
Drew won, though.
wrestler.
It's a great call. So that was WrestleMania 36, everybody. Leave your comments. Tell us
Yeah.
what you thoughts, your opinions. Leave them down in the comment section below. I've been Maximus Roman. He's been Tommy Gunn. This was the Gunn and Roman show. Thank you, Tommy, once again for doing it with me. Yep, all in all, WrestleMania 36 was a success.
Thanks,
It got
brother.
my mind off of a lot of things during this time of uncertainty, and I really thank WWE. I thank Tommy for doing this show with me once again. I thank all you fans for watching. That's it. Thank you. Peace.